English can be quite a tricky language sometimes. Sometimes words with the same spellings have different pronunciations, but sometimes different words with different spellings end up having the same pronunciation, so you're unsure what someone meant when they said something. We are going to look at some common ones like these and learn some advanced vocabulary through the process. We are going to talk about homophones. Right? Before that, hi, I'm Ajit from Capshine. Capshine is a revolutionary learner together English fluency program. With Capshine, learning English is easy, quick, fun, affordable, and effective, and we've promised a whole new you in 6 months or less. So what are these homophones? Well, like I said, these are words, or rather different words with different spellings, but they have very similar pronunciation. So when you hear them, they sound the same. Let's look at how we can differentiate them and what these different words mean. The first pair of words is tail and tail. Well, this tail, you know the tail, right? But there's also another meaning for this word. The word tail could also mean to be at the back or right behind someone, giving chase to someone. For example, something definitely not human was on our tail, or it's right behind us, either following in, maybe you're going in a car and something's chasing you, or whatever it is to be on your tail. On the other hand, a tail, again, same pronunciation, can be used to talk about a book or a story or a fairy tale, whatever it is. Vesemir had told her all the tales when she was little, right? Tale, stories, is also tail. The next set of words are air. We know this, like a hot air balloon, the air that blows. On the other hand is air, pronounced the same way, but spelled with an H. This is something like heir to the throne or heir to the generational property, heir of the company, whatever it is. It means a successor, someone who's gonna, from the next generation who will come and inherit all of this. For example, every place was so crowded that there was no room for fresh air. We know what that is, air. And of course, when it came time for him to name an heir, a successor, someone who will take after the business, he didn't even consider choosing me, right? An heir, someone who will take after, who will own whatever was owned by the previous generation, an heir. Then there is vein, right? And then there is vein. This vein, of course, you know the vein where they poke you to get your blood, but vein also means to be self-absorbed, to think very much about how you look. If you're always looking at the mirror and trying to make yourself look beautiful, maybe you are vain, maybe, right? I had been vain enough to worry about coming across as too educated for the jobs I sought. So too worried about how you appear and how others look at you is to be vain. On the other hand is vane, like a weather vane, and this is an instrument used to measure where the wind is blowing and how strong it is. The wind rustles the leaves of apple trees and sets a rooster on a weather vane spinning. Again, from a book, but the weather vane is something that tells us how the weather is. It's an instrument just like that that's used to measure it. Before we go to the next set, I want to quickly tell you about the Capshine learning model. With Capshine, you get access to speaking opportunity, you get to learn and practice as a group, you get a monthly fluency report that tells you exactly where you are and what you need to do to go to the next stage, a personal coach, customized feedback, and of course, daily micro lessons and live classes through which you can get your doubts solved and improve your command of the English language. Do check it out. Let's look at a few more pairs of words. You have bald and you have bold. Sounds the same. You might know the bald, which means, not having hair, but bold can also be used to talk about a feature or a surface that has no growth on it, right? Like a bald landscape. She sighed looking at the bald expanse in front of them, right? Like a desert is bald. And this is another use for this word. Bawl is to cry out, to cry uncontrollably, like a child cries when it doesn't get something, to bawl. Sirens blared, voices screamed and shouted, children bawled, and dogs barked, right? So children bawled, they cried out uncontrollably, loudly, that is to bawl. And then of course you have sensor, as in a sensor board, and a sensor, something that senses something. You're an reasonable something, my voice became shrill, but I censored myself. I suggesting that she stopped herself from saying whatever she wanted to say. So to censor is to delete parts of content that is not appropriate, that you don't want others to see. That is to censor. A censor with an S is something that censors. We protect buildings with a combination of guards, dogs, and, well, motion sensors maybe, right? A sensor. Then we have bolder and bolder. When you're bolder with a U, or rather an O, you are much more bold, right? With every passing day, Emily grew a little bit bolder, right? She got a little bit more bold. On the other hand, a boulder with an OU is a large rock. We bounced over a boulder so big, I hear it scrape on my underbelly, right? So a boulder is a large rock, a large feature, which is made of rocks, right? And of course you have dual and dual. Dual is two, right? For example, we seem to be living in a weird dual reality, express Kathy. And of course, duel is to fight someone, like if you've seen those cowboy movies where two people have guns, they walk the other side and then turn around and shoot each other. That's a duel. Or a sword fight is a duel, right? I doubted that he would show his face again at the tavern where he had fought the duel, and I was right. So where you have a fight between two people, usually with guns or swords or hand-to-hand, is a duel. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something new today. If you liked, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you click the bell notification to not miss videos from us, and also hit subscribe to be updated with newest English things, right? And of course, don't forget to check out the 30-day free trial by going to capshine.com and downloading the app from the Play Store. Thanks for watching.